Yeah, and he has agreed for our audience to be able to actually see him directly because all this is Instagram. Can you tell me more about why this project and why secret that is such a KRSA project? Yeah, so KRSA project is one of our biggest things is providing all of our clients with safety, and we have to do a lot of safety measures, but unfortunately, without security, we have people who come into the property who make sure. All right, well, flash forward to now, still cleaning, still trying to get that done. And honestly, I don't even think there's an end to it. I've been doing that, as the title says, since I've been fired. It's been the story of my life that I've been cleaning, picking up, and there's quite a few other things that I have in mind, which is what I want to share with you guys because I don't know how many people are losing their jobs right now, how many people have been without a job. The struggle is real. It's been difficult. It's hasn't been easy and these recent times, but you know what? I've been fired, and with this government shutdown, I can honestly tell you that I'm not losing any sleep over any of it. I have prepared for something like this. And I want you guys to prepare yourselves for something like this. I want everyone to be fully prepared for anything that could happen, whether it's a layoff or you can't work for any other reason. This is something that I've been wanting to share with everyone for quite a long time, and maybe getting fired was the time to do it now. So this is now allowing me the time to really focus and have no more excuses to start this YouTube channel and share my experience, what I've done, and what I'm planning on doing so that you guys could follow along with what I'm trying to do. So, to begin with, there's been a lot of things that I have not done just because I've been so busy all the time. And to begin with, since I've been fired, things that I want to do and work on is I do want to become financially independent. I'm I've gone to a point that maybe I could be without a job for a while, but I want to get to a place where I don't even want to look for a job. I am so done. I know I'll be able to qualify for unemployment right now, but that isn't not going to last forever. And honestly, I'm not looking forward to looking for another job. And my goal is to not look for another job. And I want to focus on myself. I want to get physically fit. I want to focus on my health. I want to be all around fit. I want to be physically fit. I want to be financially fit, spiritually fit. I want to have all those areas in my life on check because I know they have not been in quite a while. Although I always have loved to go to the gym, it's always been my diet. And one thing I have stopped doing, and it's already been over a month, and that's I have actually stopped drinking. So I have now consumed no alcohol and don't plan to moving forward because it just doesn't fit what I want to do moving forward. Alcohol is, I mean, does it bring any benefit? I mean, the hangovers, and I get those hangovers where you're just morally hungover, where you just feel you're the worst person in the world. And honestly, I don't miss that. And I feel more productive. And so moving forward, no more alcohol. I won't be drinking. It honestly was hard the first 2 weeks, but I could honestly say that now I guess since I got fired, now it's really not top of mind, nor is it an interest of mine. And I want to focus on so many other things, including being a mother to my children. So I have three children and I'm a single mother. So I know the struggle. I could relate to many of us out there who may be single or maybe not. Because who doesn't want to be independent regardless whether they're single or married or whatever the case might be. So I want to share whatever knowledge I can share that will help you and this journey. So I want to give you guys a glance into what I'll be doing, and I want to educate you guys as to how you could get there. Um, all right. So my journey began to where I find myself now, where I'm semi independent, financially independent. Um, it began in 2020, and I'll tell you just right off the bat, real estate. That is where now don't go get lost with don't get lost on me. Real estate is for anyone and everyone. We could all do it. Trust me. I've done it. And for the most part, for whatever reason, I've managed to be always single doing it. Um, so it began during COVID, and we had that lockdown, all the mess. So during that time, I wasn't spending any money. So I started saving a lot of money. And then at that time, I was also listening to Dave Ramsey, getting out of debt because I had a lot of debt. And I figured, well, you know what? My time is now to get out of debt and let's figure this out with a good credit score because I've always known credit scores are important. So I started paying off the debt, and all I had at the end was my student loan. So I was like, okay, well, what do I do from here? Because I didn't want to just, what am I going to do after I pay off my debt? I was like, well, I want to do more. It really feels good once you're paying off debt. You kind of want to know what else is out there for me. Thrive. You want to thrive. You want to feel productive, or at least I do. So, um, I was on his forums on Facebook, and I was just like, well, what do you do after you pay off your debt? What then? And then, so during I like reading comments. So when I was reading the comments, I stumbled upon a real estate. Well, it was more of a comment stating how this other group didn't quite agree with everything that Dave Ramsey was saying, and but this is the way they invest. So I was curious, and I clicked, and that forum was actually called Bigger Pockets. And I started listening to that a lot. But prior to that, I read that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I highly recommend that book. I'll try to pin it somewhere. I'm not an expert yet on this YouTube stuff. I'll pin it somewhere, but it's Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I love that book. I've had many of those books and I always give them away, and now I don't have any. So you could find them for free, probably like at your used bookstore. Actually, you could listen to it on YouTube for free. So I recommend that if you guys commute a lot. So, with that being said, that triggered the interest into real estate. So, with me, I figured, okay, well, let's see what this is all about. And I'm all about open mind, open ears. I'm always willing to try something else out that I never tried in my life. So, that's what I did. So, where did it start for me? It began after I was reading and listening and all that stuff. I ended up approaching a lender, and I asked him to run my credit as if I was, because honestly I was gung ho on this real estate. I was like, let's do it, let's go buy, just get it started. And so I ended up approaching him. He ran my credit, and well, I didn't qualify. I didn't qualify for anything. But you know what I did? I have now the knowledge as to what I needed to fix. So with that information, I ended up really working hard on those issues that weren't qualifying me. Because it wasn't not only the debt, it was creditors that were also on my credit. history. So I needed to approach these creditors. I needed to get that done. So I went ahead and I started approaching all these creditors that were already were already harassing me. And I started negotiating and bargaining them down because you could do that. So I approached all these creditors and started telling them, well, I'm only able to pay 30% of what you're asking for. And always start low. Always start low because they're just going to, work themselves up. So definitely start low and then they'll work themselves up, but definitely do not pay 100%. Definitely do not do that. So I was diligent with getting all these things just checked off. Like, all right, I did this, I did that. So I ended up approaching them less than a year later and had them run it again, and sure enough, second time's a charm, and I qualified. I not for a lot, but I qualified. And you best believe I started looking around to see what was in my budget. And what the method I chose, there's many strategies into real estate. And that's one thing that you can learn and make your mind up in that regard is what strategy fits you. I chose what's called the Burr strategy, where I get ugly houses and fix them up. So I add the equity to the houses I purchase. So I started looking at ugly ones, which is perfect because that's all I qualified for. And I kept putting offers, and I never offered them what they were asking because honestly, I couldn't. But still, that's part of the game. You gotta lowball them a little bit. So there was a lot of these houses that were rejecting my offers, but there was always this one that I wasn't sold on. I wasn't really interested, but it kept popping up in my Zillow. And I finally got rejected for the last time because I was just like, this is enough. I hated this. And I ended up telling my realtor, you know what? Let's put in an offer for this house because it was just hanging out there doing a whole lot of nothing. And they were asking for $200,000. And I didn't have that amount secured. They only qualified me for very little, and I believe that's what I was offering, which is the 130. I told the realtor, submit that offer for 130 and we'll take it from there. And well, lo and behold, he submitted it. But I will add, he had something to say about that. But honestly, you should not care what no realtor has to say about your bids and what you offer. Because guess who's going to be paying the mortgage? You are, not them. You. Don't worry about what they have to say. Anywho, we had to move on from that. And he submitted the offer. 2 days later, they approved it. They accepted my offer. So I was just on top of the world. And I went ahead in the month of September of 2021. I signed on the dotted line, and that was my first property I purchased. So it was two casitas on one property, and it had a two-car garage. And flash forward to now, I did move into that property, which I'm not there anymore. But now that property is no longer a 2 unit property. It's now a 4 unit because I did convert those two-car garage into two studios. And that has allowed me to now purchase this property. And this property was the same. It was ugly. I had a lot of things that needed to be fixed, and I remodeled this. It was just it was great. It was a beautiful experience. And now I made it so that I liked it, and my kids, we are just so in love with this house. The outside still needs work, but I said it from the beginning. I'm only focused on the interior because that's where I'm going to be living. And actually, that's why I wanted to start this YouTube channel now, because I'm going to actually start working on the exterior. And one thing I am going to be working on is I'm going to add 2 units to this property, to this home, which is what I'm going to rent out. And that those rentals is what's going to pay for this mortgage. So those are the strategies and tactics that, real estate will help you. It's an investment. It's an investment, and It could be an investment for now, the future. There's just not no going wrong with real estate, and just always never bite off more than what you could chew. So I'm gonna be embarking on this new construction project. I'm hoping to start as soon as this month, and I'm gonna work from there. And I want to bring you guys along to the process, what I'll be doing. And it's just been such a blessing. This real estate journey has been such a blessing. It's something that I want to continue doing. And now it's something that I want to share. So I hope that you guys are also interested of getting out of debt. And you got to start somewhere. We don't wake up in these positions. I worked for where I'm at now, to where now if they fired me, well, I mean, they did, I'll be fine. I'm not going to be worried about that. So I want everyone else to be in that position. Why not? Let's not depend on corporate America or your job. We don't need to be doing all that. So, and really quickly before I end, I wanted to just mention really quickly, because I forgot to. This video keeps getting deleted. I wanted to mention that I want to share those properties with you guys, the before and after, how they looked when I purchased my first property. I want to share all that, but it'll be for other YouTube videos. And also how I bought this one, what it looked like on the inside and how it looks like now. And it's great. And I want you guys to get motivated and get excited, because this is so doable. It's doable. It's not easy, but it's doable. It's not easy. You got to be in it for the long run, okay? The long game. So just keep that in mind. And we'll both be learning in the process of all this, because I don't know everything. I'm not a guru. Definitely not. So I want you guys to join in on the fun and the learning curves and the ups and downs, because they'll be in existence. And well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate for everyone that's made it to the end. And I look forward to sharing more content with you guys and more information. So enjoy the books and the podcasts.